there everyone, Ricardo again here from Real Estate Mastery with Rick. Uh, Guys, what I'm going to talk about today is you and building a team. What I'm not going to speak about is like an office team or a principal's team or a brand's team or so forth. What I'm going to speak about is basically you um, as a real estate agent, and if you want to achieve a team, how you'd be going about doing that. Now that is building a team in order to get a better production and basically a better income than you could achieve by yourself. Now I know that some of you guys would be church-going people, and if you are, you have probably heard of a very good leadership um, consultant named John C. Maxwell. Now, John C. Maxwell said something I read years ago, um, where he says that one is too few a number to achieve greatness. Now, what does this mean? Now, what this simply means is that one person is just not enough for you to become a leader um, in your current career. Uh, to the For the reason actually that there's just not enough time for you to do that. Okay, so what you'll be doing is, if you had to maybe employ or get a volunteer or get a partner to basically help you, provided that that person is trained well and given the right duties and you have the right duties and that type of thing, you would achieve a lot more than what you would just being by yourself. Okay, now I'd like to basically start off. Sorry guys, I'm looking at my notes there because as I was planning for this video, I wrote down a few notes that I'm gonna refer to from time to time. Okay, now the first thing is that you don't have to be the best at anything for you to become um, a good agent or one of the best agents in your team, in your city, in your province, in the country. You don't have to be the best at anything. Okay, what you really need to do is basically only be good at everything, especially when you're working with a team. Now obviously as an individual you will have strengths such as I have a strength in the fact that I work very, very, very long hours, and another strength in the fact of that I'm not afraid of my customers, and I can really speak to them, and I don't really mind losing a client if it means I'm going to stick to what I need to do. So so that's me. But then I have teammates that are much better than me with dealing with people over periods of time. Because I see my clients like maybe once a week, maybe speak to them once a week, maybe a bit less than that, maybe a bit more than that, but it's not a constant thing. But I have a basic weakness when it comes to basically listening to people's issues and basically giving them the time that they need to recover from whatever they are going through and so forth. Because I'm more the type of get over it and get on with it type of guy. So while that works for me in my doing my business, that means um, being with a client and so forth, and just basically moving on from that client to the next client and so forth. It doesn't really work for me in a situation when it is people that I need to deal with consistently all the time, the same people. And I have other members of my team that are very, very good at that. Okay, so you don't have to be great at everything, at anything, but you do need to be good at everything. Okay, And where this also helps is when you lose a member of your team. For instance, you would get someone that would, let's just say for argument's sake, the person is a brilliant accountant. Now you're not an accountant, and but you need to understand how does your the accounting system of your business work, so that while you are looking for someone to replace the person that you have lost, your business does not stop or completely lack in that particular area where you had someone that was very strong. Okay, and then we are looking for complementary skills. Now, sometimes people are good at something, but they choose not to do that thing, and that is a little bit uncommon, because I'm of the belief that people are good at the things that they enjoy doing. But I suppose it could be possible that you get someone that is good at something but chooses not to do that thing. Okay, now that person would not be a complementary person to yourself if you were not good at this particular thing, and they, even though they were good at it, they choose not to do it because their heart, their souls would not be in it. So what you need to look for is you need to look for someone that is complementary, in the sense of that not only can they do what you require them to do, or what you choose not to do, or what you fail to do effectively. Not only can they do that, but they also want to do that. Okay, and then you could basically bring that person onto your team, either as a partner. That person's also an agent, maybe on a 50-50 split, maybe on a 60-40 split. Maybe you bring two other people aboard and it's on the 33% each split, or it's on a 20-20-60 split, or whatever the split is, you know what I mean, for it to work. But what you could also do is basically find those complementary skills, and like what a boss at most companies will do, you hire that skill. Now, I have people inside my team that I work with on a commission split basis, and I have people on my team that I pay a salary. Now, obviously, the people that I pay a salary is kind of different. The dynamic is different than the people that I don't pay a salary to, because we are on a commission split. Okay, let's just have a look. Give each team member, a stake in the result. Okay. Now it's very easy when you have someone that is also on a commission split. Basically, they have a stake in the results, no matter what it is they're doing, whether they're just filling in the paperwork, or they're doing some back of the office duties. If they have a stake in the outcome, they're going to do the best job that what they can, and they're going to identify and basically try to minimize, if not eliminate, any threats to a positive result of your action. Now, you want the same thing even from your salaried staff. And how we do that is that we give, for every successful deal, that what we do, we give the members of our team that are salaried staff, we give them a small incentive per deal that we do. If it's a rental deal, it's obviously very small, and if it is a sales deal, it's obviously a bit larger than that. And so our salaried admin staff also have a financial stake in the outcome of every single deal. Okay. Then the next thing is let each person know how their contribution helps. Now, it's very common that let's say, for instance, we're in real estate and we have someone that is the main job is to get the client's FICA, or or to make sure that all the documents are in order, and that type of thing. Now, obviously, if the deal goes through and completed, and you've got a little incentive on that, that basically helps there. But also to let them know that should they not succeed at what their job is, how that negatively affects what it is that you are doing, or should they succeed, how it eases what it is that the result is that you are looking for. You know. Okay, then I'd also say very importantly is to praise often and to praise loudly, and to look for things to praise. Now that does not mean that I'm saying that you need to brown nose your employees or team members or whatever, but you look for things to praise about that person, so that it makes that person feel good. It makes that person try to live up to the expectation that you have of them. So, so you praise loudly, and then when you criticize, you criticize sparingly, and you criticize softly. So what I mean is that when the person does something well, you basically gonna go out there and shout it off the rooftops. This is what the person is doing. This is how fantastic they are, and so forth. And then when the person does something badly, or needs assistance there, you want to basically keep that low key, you know. And then and this is also a good principle to remember when you need to inevitably correct someone's actions. You know, when someone needs coaching, needs help, and they need to or they're just not getting along with others, and something needs to be fixed. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to do it this way. Okay, you're going to use what we call the sandwich method. We're going to use the bread slices of a sandwich, like, you know, we're looking at two slices of bread and some meat and cheese as the filler, and we're gonna make a sandwich. So we're gonna get a bread slice for the bottom, and that bread slice we're gonna call praise. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna put some margarine or butter onto this bread slice, and when we're doing this is when we are praising them. So when I need to correct what someone is doing, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to need to lay down the slice and basically start telling them what they've been doing well. So, hi John. John, maybe John, you know what, John, you are a great person when keeping time in the office. You know, you are the person that is always in the office on time, like, you know, we never have a problem with your punctuality and so forth. Okay, so I'm going to start there. I'm going to say something positive with him as a slice of bread. Now for the meat, for the thing that makes the sandwich good, you know, for the meat and the cheese and all those fellas in between, I'm going to tell John what is doing better. But John, while you are great at keeping time and basically being in on time, and you are never late, and your punctuality is just fantastic, John, I feel that you need to basically work on this. John, I think you need to work on your meticulousness of when you're filling in the paperwork. Okay, we're seeing that from time to time you are forgetting to do ABC. Okay, and then once we are done with that, we're gonna go by John. You know what? As I said earlier, like, you know, nobody can beat you on your punctuality. You are the greatest person. If you just work on this little thing that we've spoken about here, I'm sure that you're gonna do even better and feel even better about your position, and I can see a fantastic future for you within our organization. So you see what I did? I lay down a slice of bread. I put the juicy, the actual thing I want to tell John in the center, and I laid another slice of bread on top. That's called the sandwich method, or the first way that I learned it was bold, break, bold. Okay, okay, so that I find to be a very effective manner of basically letting someone know what he needs to know instead of just coming in and saying, John, you know what, your paperwork is atrocious, you don't know what you are doing, like, can't you get it through your thick skull to do this and this. Say, John, you are doing this well. John, I need you to work on this. John, but you are doing this well. Okay, okay, so we basically use that with our team. And then the next thing is that we need to basically set huge goals for our team. Now, some people are not, they don't like unrealistic goals, they don't like big goals, they don't like to stretch themselves with goals. Okay, now the thing is, you need to set huge goals. And the reason why you need to set huge goals is because you need to have every person on your team pushing themselves to do better than what they've been doing before. Okay, like, and this goes hand in hand with letting everybody know how their contribution helps achieve the result. You know, so let's say, for instance, we've got this person whose job it is to get the paperwork in order, and you've got the sales team, you've got the person that goes out and basically gets you does things. You've got the person that goes out there and basically closes the deals. You've got the person that basically collects and makes sure that all the documents are correct. And you've got the person that basically follows up on your deals and the progress and making sure that all the parties are doing what needs to be done. So each of these people basically needs to know, okay, how does what they do help you to achieve your team goal, or even as a goal if you're a company organizational goal. But how does this allow you to basically achieve that goal and so forth? Okay, so I would set huge goals. If you only sold one house last year, I would set a huge goal of selling 5 houses this year. I'd want a 400% increase. You know, if you made 100,000 rand last year, I'd set a huge goal of tripling that, of making a 300,000 rand this year. If you did 300,000 this year, I would make it a huge goal and basically say, let's go for 1 million. You know, just let everybody know how their contribution basically helps to achieve that goal. That also helps your team members to hold each other accountable. Because let's say, for instance, the guy that's going out there and closing the sales is getting enough, a lot of sales opportunities, but he's closing like 10% or 5% of them. Okay, so what you want him to do is you want him to basically see, okay, but you know what, I need to get better at my closing ratio. What this means is, if I need more training, I need to go on training. If I need to shadow better closers, I need to shadow better closers, and so forth and whatever. So what he does is he goes out there and he does, and he feels the pressure to basically get better at his job. The same for the person that is getting the documents together. The same for the person that's following up through on the sales. But the same for the person that's making initial contact with clients. Like, you know, they would all feel the need to get better at what they are doing, as them not to be the reason that your team does not achieve its goals. Okay. Then the next thing is you gotta basically, and that is so very true, you've gotta basically, if you are starting to hire people or even invite people onto your team, you gotta try to hire and recruit the best. Okay, and when you recruit somehow the best person for the job on your team, what you gotta do is you gotta get out of their way. What I mean is, and I've seen this many times, people will hire or attract and an A plus superstar onto the team. And then they put so many obstacles in this person's way that this person just decides to go find a new team. You know what I mean? Like, they will instead of trying to make his life easier, they will bog this person down with things that this person's not really um, excited about or inclined to basically follow through on. Like for myself, even I used to work for one of the big brands in the country, and I left them because of me waiting 3 weeks to get approval on on a marketing side. I'm the type of person that basically goes out there, gets an idea, sees an idea. Basically, I just decide to implement, to wipe out my credit card and decide to pay. But at this particular company, they were so um, there were there was so much red tape about everything that I ended up leaving the company. You know what I mean? And when I left the company, obviously they had 4 interviews with me. They even got the regional director to speak to me, to basically speak to me um, about staying and that type of thing. And my mind was basically made up. Like, after a year and a half with them, I realized that I just could not operate in that environment. So when you hire someone that is good at what they do, get out of the way. Whether you're paying them a salary, whether they are voluntary team members of your team. Come on, guys. I hope you took something away from this positively. Just leave some comments